This right here is the DDJ FLX or FLX-2 from Alpha Theta. And for the majority of DJs out there, I actually think this is a poor purchase decision. So in today's video, I'm going to explain exactly why I think this misses the mark and why you should not consider buying it. Let's get straight into it. So welcome onto the FLX-2. Now, before we get started, I'm not for 1 second saying that this is a bad controller. And if you are on the tightest budget, then, you know, this is still going to get you started with DJing and you're going to be able to put together a good DJ set. However, for the majority of DJs out there, I feel like you are going to outgrow this device very, very quickly. And so if you can save up a little bit more money, you would be far better off going with an FLX or Flex 4, which is the bigger brother. Watch my comparison video if you haven't done so already, just to see what the key differences are. But some of the big limitations on this device and why I think it's probably not that good a purchase decision. First and foremost, the lack of volume control at your fingertips on this device. Most other controllers will have 3 additional dials controlling the volume on the mixer. The trim, which is above the high frequency dials, there's normally an extra dial up there, and also the master volume control. Now the trim is very, very important. Why? Because all tracks are recorded at different levels. And this means that by adjusting the trim in your headphones and, you know, but when you're mixing, it just means that your mix is going to sound one consistent level to the crowd in front of you. So you will avoid massive fluctuations in volume. Now, of course, you can adjust the trim in Rekordbox. So what you have to do is you open up the mixer tab there and see here on the mixer tab, we do have the trim controls there. However, it is very, very fiddly. When I've been playing around with this controller in my private time, I have found this to be really quite annoying, clicking and dragging using the mouse in order to adjust the trim. I much prefer the trim at my fingertips on the device. Similarly, with the master volume, sort of it's missing from there. You do have the master volume control, but it is this tiny little dial on the side. Very flimsy, very sensitive, and I have found it very, very fiddly to control the master. I get massive fluctuations. If you move this dial a little bit too much, it just makes the sound system go from like really quiet to very loud very, very quickly. So there is a lack of control there. And the other thing to bear in mind is that if you're traveling with this controller, these little dials on the side there, they're pretty flimsy, and so it's going to be quite easy to snap these off. So definitely not very rugged. So just bear that in mind, that you know you can control the master from the device itself. However, it's just not the best solution. In addition to that, when it comes to volume, you also do not have any level meters in the middle of the device. So you can't actually see how loud a signal you are sending out to the main sound system. So you cannot see if you're, you know, okay in the green, in the yellow, or if you're about to clip your sound. Now, again, you can monitor this in Rekordbox. Let's just hit play on that track. And you can see in the top right there, you can see the output that is being played. But again, it's just not very practical. It's better to have a visual representation on your controller. And then the final thing that I'm going to say on volume controls is there's no headphone controls. Now, it's normally in this corner of the mixer. So of course, you can control which channel is coming in and out of the headphones between 1, 2 and the master, or all 3 if you want, but you're not going to be able to account for the amount of mix that you get on the FLX-4, for example. You can control if you have all of 1 and 2 in your headphones, or if you have a mixture of 1 and the master, you know, the mixture between them. But also as well, the overall headphone volume, again, instead of being on that front panel, is controlled using this little tiny dial on the right hand side. Very, very sensitive, and I found it really difficult to get a comfortable volume in my headphones, because I was making, you know, quite, well, I thought it was quite small adjustments, but it turned out to be quite large. So just bear that in mind. Now, when it comes on to creative features, you do get the smart fader and the smart CFX that, you know, come on the FLX-4, so that's all fine. And you do get some performance pads as well. However, you do not get any control on beat effects on this mixer. Now, once again, you can have beat effects on this mixer, but it is going to be much more fiddly. So in Rekordbox, you open up the effects panel, you then select what beat effect that you want. So let's put spiral on. You then have to click with your mouse and adjust the parameter that you want. And then you have to switch on and off the beat effect using your mouse again. So it's just gonna mean that you're relying a lot more on the laptop the whole time. And when you're doing quick transitions, when you're doing quick mixes, it's gonna be quite fiddly. It's just not, everything is just not at your fingertips, which is what I do not like. And then the final thing is the performance pad selector. Now you do get 4 performance pad modes here, not 8. And in order to select them on your device, you hold down Shift, Beat Sync, and then the performance pad mode that will flash. So we're now in loop mode. And again, it's just a bit more long-winded. Now, when you connect up Rekordbox, you do get the 4 performance pads that you can select at the bottom of the screen right there, which is a lot quicker in my opinion. But again, another feature that you are going to have to go back onto the laptop in order to adjust. So please do bear that in mind before you decide to buy this controller. And I would say, if possible, save up a bit more and go for the FLX-4, which is of course the bigger brother. So that is my take on why I feel the DDJ FLX-2 is a poor purchase decision for the majority of DJs out there. I'm not saying in this video that this is a bad device, and if you are on an extremely limited budget and you can't possibly stretch it further, then this has got everything that you need in order to put together a DJ set. It has got all the features that you need in order to mix tracks together. What I am saying though is that if you save up a little bit more, you will be able to get the FLX-4, which is of course the bigger brother, and that device will serve you for a lot longer than this. I feel like if you are going to buy this, especially as a newbie DJ, you will outgrow this far quicker than if you just wait a bit longer and get that FLX-4. In terms of use cases though, if you are a casual user, you're not going to take DJing very seriously, and you just want to throw together some tunes at a friend's house party, then of course you're going to have a lot of fun with this. You can throw this in your backpack, it's small and light enough, and yeah, it could be good fun to use at parties. Similarly, if you're, say, traveling to a hotel and you want to host some kind of pre-party before your big night out, then again, you could travel with this and you can have a lot of fun in like a hotel room with this on the road. Or if you're a touring artist, maybe you're a bigger DJ and you want something to test mixes out in tight spaces, like on an aeroplane, in the back of your taxi or wherever it is, then again, this could serve you well because it has everything that you need. I just feel that for the majority of DJs, especially new ones, you are going to outgrow this very, very quickly. Hope that you have found this video useful. If you have joined my channel membership program, then your names are on the screen right now. Thank you so much for your support. If you found this video useful, please do give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. I am well on the way to 15,000 subscribers, and I'll catch you in the next video.